I'm Ernie McCray. There are two things in my life that I've been pretty good at, playing basketball and teaching. I had some sixth graders who greeted me, at my first class as an educator, and it was like being in heaven around them because I got to show off. I remember we were out to PE one day, and I was standing around underneath a goal, and a kid shot and missed. And just instinctively, I jumped up, palmed the ball, and stuffed it behind me. I don't think those kids have exhaled yet. And by the end of the day, the whole neighborhood knew that, boy, there's a teacher at Perry Elementary who can dunk a basketball. And the kids, I talked to them about my life because they knew about Martin Luther King and all that, and then I filled that in for them. Some of them didn't believe that the kind of thing that they saw on TV really happened. And then I was able to tell them, I said, let me tell you, where I grew up, there were cafes where we couldn't eat. There was only one swimming pool in which we could swim. We had to sit at the balcony at the movie theaters. And we could only go to the skating rink during certain hours on a particular day, which I called Negro Skating Day. And they were just leaning forward in their seats. So I kind of developed a style of teaching of making it human. If we were studying about Benjamin Franklin or something, we would do little sketches about him. Kids could become Benjamin Franklin and this type thing. And when I hear educators talking about how hard it is teaching, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I didn't find anything hard in education until I became a principal. And now you're dealing with adults. You're out of the classroom, you're dealing with adults now, and adults. I've never been impressed with adults. For some reason, I tried to be one at one time, and I said, oh, hell with this. This is where they conduct the wars, and this is where they do horrible things in the adult world. People put kids down. Kids didn't invent any of this stuff. They absorb it, and they can take our best traits and our worst traits and take it farther than we ever thought it could go. Kids are my favorite people. I enjoyed being one. I've been around kids my entire life. Even now, I do some things with kids. I just did some writing workshops with some kids who belong to the Cesar Chavez service clubs. I became an actor overnight, did several plays while I was still the principal. I was on the board of a human eye ensemble that Ricardo Pitts Wiley had started. And I'm not that good of a board person, And then one time somebody didn't show, and I got in, and then next thing I know, I was an actor. Floyd Gaffney out at UCSD had me do some things, and then that's pretty much how I've lived. I just end up doing something I hadn't set out to do. I think it's the greatest addition to our journey. And there was something about George Floyd's situation that got more people. There's always been white people who have been, sympathetic to our struggle and have marched in the streets with us, but that just got everybody going. We're never going to go back to where it was before then. I feel more hope now about the world than I ever have, but we got to go through this Trump period because he unleashed some people that I hadn't had to deal with in a lot of years. The people, all these yahoos he's got out there now, I dealt with them when I was growing up. People were, really kind of open with their stuff. And when you embolden people like that, they don't die easily. But when we get past that, I look at these young leaders now, Paul Khalid Alexander that runs the Pillars of the Community, and these guys, the world's going to be in a better place human-wise, but like we were talking earlier, people need to get together to deal with this climate change. But I'm only optimistic because of my contributions to trying to make the world better. I'm not sitting back. I mean, if I was just sitting back, I wouldn't be all that optimistic because I'd be looking at, ooh, look at all this. But I look at all this and then I'm trying to do something about it.